Though I wasn't thinking of revisiting this, so I'd had to rent it, but it looks like I did after all and watched it, and well, I'm ready to tackle this film for its 25th anniversary today. What happens when a producer on a popular daytime talk show is in a hot romance with the show's dashing executive producer, but once the relationship goes terribly awry, she begins an extensive study of the male animal, including her womanizing roommate she now gets to stay with. Easy. You got this film right here. Here's my review of Someone Like You. Bad Days Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome again to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. I'm the Big D, and this time around, I bring to you a review of the 2001 rom-com Someone Like You, released by Fox for Fox 2000 Pictures, directed by Tony Goldwyn, based on Laura Zigman's 1998 novel Animal Husbandry, starring Ashley Judd along with Greg Kinnear, Hugh Jackman, Marisa Tomei, and Ellen Barkin. It follows a heartbroken woman looking for a reason why she was dumped. The film was released on this day, March 30th, 2001. Henceforth, today's the 25th anniversary of this underrated gem. It was a modest success, spiking mixed response from the critics. Anyway, here's how the story starts. Oh, excuse me. Jane Goodale is a production assistant for a talk show that has recently become nationally syndicated. Her boss, host Diane Roberts, is always pushing her staff to book ungettable guests, like Fidel Castro. Jane has a friendly but adversarial relationship with fellow producer Eddie Alden, a shameless serial womanizer. When new producer Ray Brown arrives, Jane is immediately smitten. Despite Ray admitting to having a serious girlfriend, Dee, he and Jane begin an affair. A runs into them on the sidewalk and deduces the relationship, expressing skepticism to Jane that it'll last. After several weeks, Ray confesses his love for Jane and asks her to move in with him. Ray ends things with Dee, but seems troubled by her lack of apparent emotion to the news and begins enthusiastically apartment hunting with Jane. They find a place they love and begin to move forward, but Ray suddenly becomes distant after much delay tells Jane his feelings have changed and he no longer wants to be with her. Since her apartment has been re-rented, Jane is left with nowhere to live and becomes Eddie's roommate. Jane reads a magazine article about bovine sexuality, learning that bulls lose interest in intercourse with cows after they've already mated with them once. Jane excitedly tells her best friend Liz about the article and her belief that it applies to men. She is an old cow who has been already serviced. So Ray lost interest in her, which would also explain Jane's past bad luck with men. Liz, after experiencing heartbreak herself, proposes Jane write a column about her theory under the pen name Dr. Marie Charles for the men's magazine Liz works for. The article is a huge success, becoming widely discussed in the news. Diane demands her staff book Dr. Charles for the show. At a Christmas party, Ray tells Jane he misses her, asking her out for New Year's Eve, but he stands her up. The next day, Ray admits he's reunited with Dee, who is revealed to be Diane. Eddie comforts Jane and helps her muster her courage before a staff meeting, but she nonetheless lashes out at Ray for his deception. Over drinks with Liz, Eddie, and Jane argue about Dr. Charles' new cow theory. At home, she tells him she has to believe the theory because otherwise she fears men don't leave women, just her. A comforts her, saying Ray is not the last man she'll ever love. They fall asleep together. Now for the ending. As always, you know the procedure. You got 5 seconds to stop this video at once. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below as I count down now. If you've seen this movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. In the morning, Jane says that while Eddie can be kind, his true self will inevitably come out and hurt her. Jane's brother in law calls with the news that her sister, who has been trying desperately to have a child, has had a miscarriage. Jane visits them and is deeply moved by her brother in law's love and devotion for his wife. She calls Diane and tells her she booked Dr. Charles for a telephone interview. On the day of the interview, Jane decides to hang up the phone and admit on stage that she is the source of the article and that Dr. Charles does not exist. She calls her own theory ridiculous and says men are more nuanced than she gave them credit for. She realizes the depth of her feelings for A, and discovering he's left the studios, chases after him. She finds him on the sidewalk and admits she was wrong and has fallen in love with him. And they kiss passionately. End of story. So, what did I think of Someone Like You? Well, like I said, it's been years since I last saw this film, but I figured since I had a little something, I decided I just decided to go ahead and rent it on Prime Video and check it out the first time. Although I do have it on video cassette, but they're all locked up in storage. So I said, the heck with it, I'll go ahead and go for it. I mean, I actually kind of had a soft spot for this film. This is a pretty good rom com, and I got to admit it's really something. The film may not have been that big of a hit, but it was a modest success, going on to make 38 million worldwide on its $23 million budget. Though despite the North American box office, it came in second place, losing to Spy Kids, which of course I've already reviewed that one. Reviews were mostly mixed, as Rotten Tomatoes has a score of 42%, saying it's a light and predictable, if somewhat shallow, romantic comedy that's easy to sit through because of the charming leads. On Metacritic has a score of 32%, so mostly it's close to mixed and negative. Ice's survey by CinemaScore gave this a B. In other reviews, Todd McCarthy of Variety called it a rom-com as lamely generic as its title. Uh, Peter Travers of Rolling Stone gave this a good review, saying Judd shines like gold dust, and Jackman is funny and touching, and his scenes with the dazzling Judd have a poignancy that soars above the chick flick herd into the realm of sweet magic. Well, I couldn't have said that better myself. I have to agree. The lead performances from Judd and Jackman are absolutely very superb and are absolutely incredible. Rolf Kent does the score, and it's fine, what have you. Actually, it features a pretty good soundtrack as well, including the actual song "Someone Like You" by Van Morrison, which was played at the just right before the movie's credits started rolling, making this wasn't just the first time because later on it would also be used at the very end before a little bit of credits are rolling for another rom com, and that would be Bridget Jones' Diary, which was released the same year, or just a few weeks after this. But I've got to admit, this film is kind of an underrated rom com, but after revisiting, I do realize it's pretty funny, and I gotta give its cast praise. Ashley Judd does a great job as Jane Goodale. Definitely. This is another good performance. Of course, we also hear a song by her half sister, Winona Judd, in the film soundtrack as well. So, yeah, I thought I'd point that out too. Plus, there's even a cover of the Talking Heads tune Burning Down the House, which was done by the legendary singer Tom Jones along with the Swedish band The Cardigans a few years after they had a hit with Loveful. Now, for the rest of the cast, we have Greg Kinnear as Ray. He's pretty good. Hugh Jackman plays Eddie. This was just a few months after he made it. In other words, made a big splash as Wolverine and X-Men. Then soon he'd follow up with this and some other films. I gotta say, he's pretty good in his performances. Marisa Tomei plays Liz. I gotta give her credit. She was pretty good. And Ellen Barkin as Diane Roberts, definitely pretty good. But anyway, yeah, I have to say that's pretty cool. We do have some uncredited special appearances from even Hugh Downs and even the director of this film, Tony Goldwyn, who was uncredited as a narrator on the TV. We even have one actress provide a voice for a furry animal, and that being Marge Simpson herself, Julie Kavner. Yes. Anyway, the rest of the cast, or should I say, supporting cast, isn't too bad. So overall, in the end, Someone Like You, I feel like it's an underrated rom com, but I think you'll really like it if you give it a shot. So would I recommend it? I'd say sure, go ahead. But if you're curious and you don't think it's worth your time, then I would suggest a one-time watch. So it's a draw between sure, go ahead and give it a one-time watch. That's it. But anyway, someone like you does have a pretty good score and great cast, and the characters aren't too bad. So that's about it. That's about all I'm going to say. What did you think of Someone Like You? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, and you know the rest. Join me next time when I bring to you a new mini reviews vid where I'll be talking about the new Prime Video action flick of a chick flick in Pretty Lethal, as well as the new Hulu film with Vince Vaughn called Mike and Nick and Nick and Alice. So if you like this, check out some of these other films with the two of the stars that actually shined in this film. If you like more Ashley Judd, check out my review of a film she did a year prior before Someone Like You in Where the Heart Is in the upper left hand corner, or go to the upper right hand corner for a film that Hugh Jackman did long after this, and that will be 2017's The Greatest Showman. Or if you would like maybe something else, a later rom com, but having a little feel of going from young to old in one of you, check out my review of 13 Going on 30 from 2004 in the bottom left hand corner. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.